But look, anyway, listen to this though. Troy came out and said, "Yeah, and it's kind of gonna take us into the scheme versus players versus scheme conversation, right?" Because Troy was like, "Yeah, they just kept single covering CeeDee Lamb, and uh,
I did. I didn't hear it, but I read it. Yeah, I read that he said that they needed to throw him the ball.
He was like, if Irvin was single cover, he's gonna have 10 receptions by halftime, and that takes me to what we see so often in the NFL is these nerd coaches, these Kellen Moores, not Shanahan's, because Shanahan schemed it up. Andy Reid schemed it up, right? They get so caught up in their scheme that they don't realize who's on the field. And sometimes it's great to run this amazing play with these triple rub routes and this flick back flea flicker that takes the defense off, catches the defense off guard. But sometimes you go, hey, my man is better than the man on that side of the field. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to give it to him. Look what the Rams
until they make it.
Until they stop. Look what the Rams did this year. They force-fed Cooper Kupp. They said, you know what? Cooper Kupp has a matchup we like. Matt Stafford, when you see that, hit him. And then
the Falcons used to do it with Julio.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason Michael Thomas has the record because he could run a slant every play and y'all couldn't stop it because Drew Brees could hit his third step and the ball is right there on his fucking hands. But you get these coaches who get so caught up in being these whiz kids and their scheme. And McVay, he fell into it at one point this season where he was loving Matt Stafford too much. It was like, hey, bro, run the ball. I get you got these cool gadgets here, but you need to run the ball because that works. And there's this balance between players and scheme because I think if you have the best players in the worst scheme, you're going to lose. But I also think if you have the best scheme and the worst players, you're not going to win a championship. The coach can only extract so much out of the players, and that New England Patriots. They're the best scheme team in the league, both sides of the ball. If we're going to take like a poll of offense, defense, special teams, all three aspects of the game, who is the best coach team? It's definitely the Patriots.
For sure.
But their players just weren't good enough. And Josh Allen, mama, there goes that man, kicked their ass. So where do you fall on players versus scheme? Like if you had to choose one, what would you rather have? The X's and O's or the Jimmys and the Joes?
I mean, of course, the easy answer is you need both, right? But I'm of the belief that you can get more out of a team with a better scheme, as opposed to knowing that you're just more talented. If your scheme is great, yeah, it will automatically make the players better, if that makes any sense, because you're putting them in a better position to be successful. And so I would probably, I know it's not a popular answer, I'd probably take the scheme. And, you look at, and I hate to keep having to draw to the NBA. I know they're older, but at the end of the day, most people on paper, when you look at the Lakers, you're like, man, it's a lot of guys on here, like, that can do stuff. They're just old, kind of. Like, they're kind of old. Like, how old is Russ? Russ is probably 32, 33.
32, 33, yeah.
He still should be in the prime of his career.
Yeah,
he shouldn't be hitting that wall until for another 2 years, in reality. And, I mean, he had a great year even last year. But my point in even saying that is, look at that team that's got all this talent. And they just and it might just not be a good fit. But, like, I mean, I think a part of his scheme, too, is like the kind of the offense they're running. It's impossible to run an offense with two guys that fucking need the ball in their hand. Even with LeBron, like, he's not a spot up shooter, but obviously LeBron I would say he's a solid 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he's a good 3-point shooter.
LeBron does nothing bad except he has always been, for whatever reason, a bad free throw shooter. And that's like the one thing that LeBron's never improved on. I don't know why that is, but LeBron has never, like, his free throw shooting has always been between 70 and like 77. Like,
free throws are mental, man, and he, similar to A-Rod, is better than everybody, but he gets in his head. And I hate to give Skip Bayless some credit here, but Skip Bayless is right. He's like, yo, when LeBron catches the ball with 2 seconds and he doesn't have to think about what he's doing and he just plays, that's the best LeBron. like he doesn't have to think about it because he's so smart that it's paralysis by analysis. But I'm happy you brought it to basketball because I was going to take it to Olympic basketball, where
there you go. There's the talent. Yeah,
the United States are not the best coach team, and I'm not saying that they're not the best coach because
they had Pop though.
No, and it's not because of the
year.
coaches. I'm not saying because of the coaches, right? It's because of the amount of time that they spend with the coaches. It's with the coaches actually putting their scheme in versus the players playing. But guess what? We win gold in the Olympics damn near every year because we have the best players. Like, sorry, we got all pros coming off the bench. We got guys flying in from the finals coming off the bench. You got guys who played in the Euro finals, you know what I mean, like coming off your bench.
At one point with the Olympic basketball, you had MVPs coming off your bench.
Bro, remember in 2012 when we had Kobe, LeBron, KD, Melo on the same? Like, come on, bro.
And Melo's the all-time Olympian, right? You know, well, if there's one place that he's ever showed up, he shows up there.
Well, because the three-point is a mid-range shot for Melo.
Well, and then when you got Kobe Bryant, who, for the most part, nobody is guarding one-on-one, and LeBron James, somebody that you're not guarding one-on-one, it's KD. Like, you got to decide who the fuck do you want to. If there's gonna be one nigga that's gonna get the shots, who are you on? And think about it, out of those four, I would probably
say Melo.
That's great. And think about it, I think that Carmelo is a top 5 scorer all time. Like in terms of scoring the ball.
Peak Melo. I like early New York Melo, where he still had a little bit of bounce, but he had a little bit of gut too. That heavy Melo.
Yes. Well, where I remember when they played the Lakers in the West Finals, Melo he could get on the post and just, really go to work on Powell. It didn't matter who was down there with him. He was, you know what I mean? He was using his body and fucking getting easy ass. Those 2-hand layups when you back somebody in and then you get it up. Yeah, that's like what Melo used to love doing.
If I have a kid who wants to play basketball, and they're going to be forced basketball when they're young, and then we'll let them make decisions as they get older, right? You're going to go on YouTube. You're going to watch Melo footwork, Melo head fakes. Like, this is a football podcast. Let's talk about
we do need to get the basketball one back going. We only did the opener and then
we're after the Super Bowl.
What about the midseason report?
We may do.
Think the All-Stars are,
I've been meaning to send something to that group actually to say, hey, bro, we need to get a basketball pod going, and my life has slowed down to where I've been traveling. Had the lady in town. I just haven't had time to like really consume everything I need to consume to do a responsible podcast. But